Well, hello. This is the final boss, and this is OMEA. I'm very excited to try this out. As a writer and a game writer and creator, I'm very interested in how AI intersects with the creative process, and I have a feeling that no matter what I think, it will probably become more and more prevalent. So I'm always very excited to see games trying to integrate AI with the game mechanics. It's kind of a nice little animation. Click arrows or scroll. I think this is the only one I can do. So we're going to be on Odin's trail pretty soon. It looks like it's written by somebody, so I'm actually very curious to see how this continues to evolve. Yeah, with these types of things, a lot of it comes down to how well you set up an AI environment. Ooh, that is really loud. Wow. Wow. Okay, so I can be a shield maiden, or I can be a raider. Be the raider. Seems cool. Storm took everything. So I have attributes. So so it's interesting. So I like the intermixing of, data properties with narrative generation. I think that's always pretty impactful. So I kind of have these things. I'm very weak socially. Okay. Strong physically, mentally average. Okay. What about the shield maiden? I'm still weak socially? What? I wanted to try to be like a charmer. I like playing a charmer build, but I guess that's fine. I'm 30 winters old. Weak persuasion abysmal. Can I add some? No, okay. Whatever. A storm took over your ship, your shield, your brothers, most of your memory. You woke half frozen, a strange shore ringed by wreckage and the dead. You only know two things. You are a raider, and you have. I know I like to raid. I like that's the one thing that's retained in my memory is I like pillaging. I know my job is pillaging. Everything else names faces the shape of your hull, slips through your fingers like meltwater. Again, this is sounding very AI written. The things that stand out outside of like the M dashes and stuff are the kind of like the comparative language that doesn't make sense. Like the simile of like fingers like melt water is a little just like overdone, and it doesn't really add anything, even though it's overdone. So those are things that definitely indicate an AI writer, and that's one of the things that as a developer you would want to be really thoughtful about is, hey, what's flagging that this is artificial versus something written out in more detail. Frozen mist and jagged cliffs with the promise of a long cold death. Okay, cool. Let's go do cold death stuff. Oh no! It's my raider job, huh? This is all I remember is like, this is what I do. I take plunder. I like the animations. I think that's like a really good way of. I'm guessing this is also AI Gen art. Whoop! Hey, Odin's Raven.
Finally. I am Hugin. Thought. Yours specifically. The only part of your mind Odin left you. Your memory waits across this island. My brother Munin. Reach the frozen passage before the blood moon peaks. Or remain nothing. One problem. Fenrir's child guards the passage. Tonight it hunts the whole island. Can you outrun a god's wolf?
Probably not. I don't know what I did to make Odin upset outside of pillaging, but I feel like he's kind of in for the pillaging, Also, it's very smart that the developers, and so for other people that are making these things, very smart to use pre-existing world building, right? Vikings, we know Odin, we know all these things.
turning your muscles to stiff rope.
Oh, like, sweet! I
You
got
grit your teeth and force yourself up, swaying as
I
the
got
ground tilts beneath. Water streams from your
PowerPoints.
clothes, darkening the black rocks beneath your boots. Every breath cuts.
That's pretty cool. Oh, is that me or is that some homie?
The shore is a graveyard of splintered timber and pale corpses. Your shield brothers lie half buried in the shingle, faces turned to the gray sky. Further up the cliff, a smear of red stains the
Okay,
rock.
so I have a
Some
map.
fragments
That's
of
cool. I like a lot of what I'm getting here in terms of the other gamified
To the
elements.
north, the cliffs rise higher, promising a
One
view of the
game
land.
that I thought did a
South,
really good
the shore
job
curves to the beach where the storm might have thrown something useful.
with making the AI
The dark
aspect of
forest
it
presses against the
gamified
rock,
was
silent and
the
deadly.
1001 Nights Scheherazade one.
Standing. Good start. Most of them are
Okay,
still lying down.
glossary.
The cold is honest. It kills you clean. The wolf, less so.
Okay, so Bird's talking to me. Okay, Raven, what's up? Okay, so I got some options. To the north, cliffs rise higher, promising a view of the land. South, the shore curves towards a beach where the storm might have thrown something useful. East, a dark forest presses. So yeah. I search the beach for any weapons or clothes left from the ship. I stay on the border. Okay. So it's picking out keywords, which is really smart. I'm curious about how, so status hypothermia with wet clothing, no name, no
You pick your way
memory.
through the wreckage, boots sinking into shingle and frozen
Okay,
sea.
so it's telling me stuff.
The dead
Low
are everywhere.
fjords.
Men you laughed with, drank with, raided with. Now they are meat for the crows. You turn them over, checking belts and pouches. The cold numbs your fingers, making every fumble clumsy.
Did I
Near
get
the waterline,
anything?
half submerged in the... Further up, a leather pouch yields flint and steel, a spark of hope.
4, 6 knife. Okay, how do I equip all this
Loot
stuff?
the dead. Very practical. They won't miss it. And you'll need that steel if you want to see the morning. The cold is patient. It waits.
Can I use it? Do I have to equip
The
it?
wind cuts through your soaked tunic as you straighten, your new haul heavy in your arms. To the north, the cliffs rise higher. South, the beach stretches on. East, the dark forest looms. The red smear on the cliff above still waits.
I go into the forest. So I equip, dry and upgrade items. I go into the forest and light a small fire with my flint and dry off my clothes. I use the fire to sharpen some branches to makeshift spears and keep them with me in case, yeah. Okay. I feel like I should, like, tell it more about what I want to do. Like, sometimes you can kind of, like, foist an AI in a certain direction. Okay. Okay. Wolf's Forest. Okay. That's cool. I like this mix of, like, the AI and the
of spears. Spruce and birch, their branches heavy with snow, block the wind in the light. The air here is
That's
still,
pretty
smelling
cool.
of resin and cold earth. But the shadows
I
are
think a
already
lot of like
stretching long.
the
sun
data
moves
that's
low,
happening and
the
how that's
horizon
getting
moves,
managed is really
filtering
interesting. The
through
things that
the
I
dark
care
blue
about
shades.
as an
The
RPG
finest
player
wood,
are my
a patch
stats,
of bare earth
how
you can
those are
tap and
performing,
find,
and like if
and
I'm
set to work.
upgrading, you know.
Your
So
fingers
I
are
do
clumsy
want
with
that
cold
sense
as
of
you strike the
progress.
flame.
I get a
Sparks
little bit
fly,
of it when we go to a new
dying in the
scene,
damp
but
moss.
it still is a little
Again,
rough.
a shower of sparks catches in a nest of birch bark and dry pine needles. A wisp of smoke, then a flame. You feed it carefully, building it.
Fire. The first thing men do when they're afraid of the dark. It keeps the wolves away. Usually.
The warmth seeps into your bones as you work the wood, shaping points that might bite if it comes to it. Your clothes steam near the fire. Slow. For a moment, the forest feels almost quiet.
I want to like
Then a sound cuts
test
through the
out
stillness.
doing some wacky
A
stuff,
long,
but
mournful howl from the north,
maybe I'll do
answered
that in
by
my
another
next build.
closer, to the east.
Okay, I have birch bark. That's pretty cool. They kind of like are thinking about what you could pick up. Um, I mean, I'm kind of curious, but like, I get my like machete and my rifle. All right, I'm gonna try to like feed it something where I'm like, I sharpen more spears as the sun rises. I use the daylight to hurry through the wood, keeping my distance from the wolves and the snow. Find glinting in the sunlight. The most powerful wolf-slaying blade known to Odin's ravens will protect me.
You work the wood until your palms blister, point after point driving into the snow. The sun ahead, something gleams in the drift. You rush forward, heart hammering, certain the gods have favored you. But as you brush away the frost, your fingers close on nothing but a shard of ice.
Okay, so it's
catching
kind of
the
like
light.
smacking down my.
Wolf Smiter? A fine name. Did you leave it in your other purse? The mind plays tricks when it's starving for hope. That's just ice chosen. Sharp enough to cut your tongue, but useless against the dark.
The wind picks up, shaking the branches above you. The howls have faded, but the forest feels less empty now.
Do I have an extra
Watch.
knife?
The shadows are lengthening. You have your spears, your axe, and the fire in your blood. You must choose a path before the light fails entirely.
Okay, so it kept me on track, which is good. You must choose a path for life. If your spear is your axe and the fire in your blood, you must choose a path. What paths are there to choose from? I also take the ice. And all right, I'm gonna try that. We'll see. So I hurry towards the other raven that holds my memories on the other side of the island. Niles take up the ice and a bit of razor sharp rock inside with a bit of blood. Am I the fairy? Okay. A golden hour. So it seems like the time is pretty locked
You
in.
break from the forest's edge onto uneven ground. The trees giving way to a vista of gray stone and churning water.
So it did,
The
like,
sun
let me
glow,
kind of
painting
sun
the
crawls
world
across the
amber and
sky.
bruised purple. The golden hour. Beautiful and cold.
So I'm warming up
Before
and
you
alert.
lies the frozen passage, a jagged bridge of white ice stretching 200 meters across the strait. Beyond it, the mainland rises dark and
So it's
distant.
interesting. So it kind of like keeps you on the rails a little bit.
The ice groans, a deep shifting sound that vibrates in your teeth. It is dying. The passage.
So it kind of just ignored the other thing I was
You kneel
doing.
by the rocks, breath steaming. Taking one of your makeshift spears, you snap the shaft and use the jagged wood to
Okay.
forge a hollow in a block of
So it's
sea ice.
kind of doing it.
You prick your thumb with the sea axe.
Clever. Or desperate. The wolf is old, chosen. Older than...
A sound carries on.
The amber light catches the slick rocks side everything cover. You're exposed here. I don't want to get wet again. All right, we're gonna try that. So I said I leave the trap behind to wound one of the wolves. I lash a few logs together and back up, float. If the ice passage as a backup float, holding the raft. So I'm trying to like.
You work quickly, driven by the dying light. It is not a ship. The frozen passage stretches. The wind here is unbroken, cutting through your furs, carrying the salt spray. You take another step. The ice. Ahead, the mainland.
It knows. It always knows. Do you feel that? The ice is trembling. Not from the wind.
A massive shadow detaches itself from the rocks on the far shore. Then it stops. It raises its head and roars.
It should eat my trap I left for it. And suffer agony. upset with me after, you know, I did what he wanted, which is pillaging. I hope he's trying to help me out here, because I'm the good guy. Okay. I'm trying to kind of like see if I can force it, how successfully I can be in that respect. I'm the good guy.
The beast lunges, jaws snapping shut around the white block you left behind. The razor-sharp flint found its mark. You don't look back. The air here is different. Still cold, but smelling of pine and wood smoke. Above,
Okay.
the sky is deepening.
Did you see that? It bit. A bloody mouth and a cut tongue. A fine gift. But don't mistake pain for death. Chosen. That thing is harder to kill than your pride.
My
You stand
pride?
on the rocky shore of the mainland.
That's rude.
The frozen passage groaning behind you. The beast paces the far bank, limping slightly, watching you with eyes that it
Okay.
cannot cross. Not yet. The raven calls again, closer this time, from the edge of the dark forest that borders the beach. Your thoughts race. Odin, pillaging, the trial. You did what warriors do. Why the...
You think the All-Father cares about gold? He takes what he wants. But this isn't about what you took from the English. It's about what you forgot, and whether you're strong enough to take it back.
Lost the ice trap spear. Okay, cool. Was Muin the one I'm friends? Hugin's the one I'm... I start for Munin. For the wolf, that's how you spell it. Munin. Yeah, sorry, I can't talk so easily and type at the same time, but I'll read what I say. I made another ice trap quickly and prepare another surprise for the wolf. I start embarking towards Moonin. Moonin greets me with a squawk, so I'm trying to like see if I can jump to like a success roll, essentially. What if I forgot to take from the English? It also grants me a golden amulet. A gift from the All-Father himself, so we'll see what it does. Or is it still going? I kind of want to see what these spory points do. I'm a little surprised I haven't had to spend them yet. You kneel by the snowdrifts, shape another weapon.
Another trap. You think the wolf is stupid enough to fall for the same trick twice?
I mean, it fell for it once.
Hunger makes all beasts foolish, even the ones walking on two legs.
You look toward the trees where the croak echoes. A shape perches on a high branch, larger than a natural raven, its feathers drinking the last of the light. Moonin. You take a step toward...
A golden amulet. Did you think Odin runs a market? Gifts are earned, chosen, or taken. And memory. Memory is a heavy burden. Are you sure you want it back?
Yeah, I want my
The
memory
wind
back.
howls across the frozen passage behind you, carrying the scent of pine and something else. Something old and wild.
Okay, I'm gonna come closer. I mean, I'm gonna still be looking out for any prize. So I kind of want it to like generate an item that I can like take from it.
You step toward the dark tree line, your boots crunching on the frozen shingle, and lower your head. The words feel strange on your tongue.
I bet they have like a filtering step that's like take out all the stuff that doesn't make sense and only do like the concrete actions maybe. So like your prompt is probably getting filtered in and then it's only feeding like the response.
It does not speak. It sits on the high branch, a black cutout against the purple sky, watching you. With eyes.
A bow. Very. Odin's servants don't get paid.
You look closer. Only the bird and the heady silence of the forest pressing in.
You want. Some things are better left forgotten. What if you don't like the man who looked.
Okay. We'll see. I'm like, hey, he's not giving me the memory. What am I supposed to do?
The raven shifts on the rock, feathers rustling like dried parchment.
Guide. The ice is breaking, the wolf waits. And your memory sits on a branch like a carrion crow. You want something gained and cross. But know this. The wolf.
Across the strait.
I cross, and on the way I see a figure. Another one of my allies survived. Steve the Viking. He's so cool and has great glasses and is totally the top pillager of the month. Steve high fives me, and we prepare to hunt for some wolves He brought a huge battle axe with him called
Step onto the
Slicemeister.
frozen passage, the ice groaning under your boots like a dying beast. The cold is absolute here, a physical weight pressing against your chest. A figure forms in the twilight ahead, a man in fur.
The cold has finally turned your brain to mush. Steve, is that the name of the frost biting your...
Steve's hand hangs in the air, waiting. Across the street.
Roll the dice. I got some physicals. Add success. Okay. So the beast.
The ice screams beneath you. Each step is a gamble. The ice heaves, a slab the size of a longship breaking. The cold air burns. You lie gasping on the shingle, the taste of salt and copper.
Well, that... He seemed like a man who knew how to have fun. But you're here, solid ground. Cold, dark, unfamiliar ground.
The mainland rises before you.
That's rude
Wall
about my
of dense
homie
pine
Steve.
forest looming against the twilight. The air smells different here, deeper.
So yeah, I mean, in terms of the gameplay, I like a lot of the, I like a lot of these other mechanics that are coming in, and
Somewhere in that
surprisingly well integrated. Like, it's not letting me
above,
rip the
sky
AI off
bleeds
the
from
rails
purple
too
to
much.
black. The first stars pricking through. The golden hour is over. Night is coming fast.
Your memory is... And night...
I take my spears and wrap some old leaves and cloth around it to make a spear torch. I take a few minutes to rest and recover my strength. In that time, I meditate and so I'm trying to throw a little bit more stuff at it, see what it can do. I'm probably going to wrap up here in a second, but this is actually kind of impressive. I wish they had a little bit more, like dice rolls and mechanics and those RPG elements. The fact that I've been playing for 30 minutes, only one of those occurred, and I only got to use my stats once, feels a little bit unbalanced.
The cold settles into your joints as you close your eyes, seeking the All-Father in the space between breaths. You hear a voice.
Steve, you and the All-Father must be very close. I assume he's invisible.
You ignore the raven, or perhaps you agree with him. The flame sputters, then the trees stand like a wall. Then the sound comes.
Run! It's here! It's on the map!
Add success. Massive success. Interesting. So I have to roll that many dice and hope I get 1/6. Interesting. That's just interesting. Interesting way to do a dice roll setup.
You don't think, you move. Your boots hammer the ice, then the rocky shore. You've the heavy thudding of the beast's pursuit.
Well, that...
The forest around you is dense. To the north, the path...
What's this?
Dinner for something bigger. Look at the wounds. Torn, not bitten. Claws? Or something worse?
Okay. A wolf once. Okay, so there's a big bad wolf around. I feel like we've kind of already established that, but I wish that this like wolf moment had come much sooner. Um, yeah, I kind of want to get so what in the story side, I kind of want to get to the next phase. Like I feel like there hasn't been a change of fortune in an interesting way. Like, you know, probably the most interesting thing that happened was me being able to make the wolf trap and send that. Like, that was like, oh, cool. I was actually able to, like, inflect the story, make something new happen. You know, obviously I was trying some silly stuff, didn't work. But the story is not developing. Like, I'm still running, and the Raven is still kind of saying sassy things, which is funny and great. But that's it. Like, you know, the wolf gets close, I run. The wolf gets close, I run. The wolf gets close, I run. And so in that sense, I do think there's quite a bit of opportunity to keep developing how this flows, how this feels. Oh, I didn't realize they had an audio input. That's actually kind of nice. Suggestions? Okay, let's just see. I don't want any suggestions. I should look what they say, though. With my torch lit, I look through the woods and find any valuable items or flint or other things that I can and progress. Next, I continue towards Mewen, the other raven, to try to find my memory. I will walk and do my best to find him. There we go. That's my best shot. And I'll do a suggested one next, and then I'll call it. But yeah, I think very fun project. I actually think this is solving a lot of the problems that AI games have when they're trying to do narrative, right? Which is it's very easy to knock an AI off the rails.
Mewen? Did you hit your head when you fell? The Raven is...
You straighten, looking toward the east where the frozen passage used to. The torch sputtered.
Sir.
Yeah, high ground. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing with Choose Your Adventures is like for people who skim, and everybody skims Choose Your Adventures, the choices are really where people can pick up the context of what they're actually supposed to do. So those choice suggestions, I wonder if those should just be default. Like you should have like that choice suggestion, and then write your own. Or like start with this choice suggestion and write more. Because I've as someone who's designed a lot of narrative games, one of the things you find is that everybody kind of skims through. They're like, yeah, okay, big path, rope ladder. I mean, it's also a little bit overly written, so then you're forcing more people to skip through because they kind of want to get to like the change of. Most readers want to get to the event, and they don't want to stick with the description too long.
God's speech, the madman's perch, or sanctuary.
Beyond the
Yeah, so like this would be good, but you should have like write your own down here, and then this, and it has like a little thing you could tap to like write more, and blah 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 blah. Or you could just submit it as is. So you could say like submit as is, or submit with edits. And that could just be like a UI thing where there's just you click here and you can just keep writing whatever's going on. But overall, it's a pretty cool one. I'm impressed. I think there's a lot of really smart stuff going on here. The things that don't work for me, I think, are the. I mean, I really wanted the RPG elements to take a bigger role. I wanted to be able to find items. I wanted to be able to update stats. I wanted to get items that gave me new stats. And I think partially, maybe that's a design thing, but I honestly think it's probably in the story outline where these problems are. Right now, this is, it seems, following a core script of like, this is where, if the player tries to derail you, keep him on this like path. Totally reasonable. But that core script, I think, is weak. It doesn't have enough interesting stuff happening. Like runes are great. I'll click on that and see what it does. But it's like, I haven't found old encampments. I haven't found anything else. It's really just been barren wilderness and a wolf coming. And that's really not enough to, explore an RPG. Like, you want to find people to talk to and negotiate with. Like, there is this stat of.
you step closer to the ancient
Oh,
oak.
here,
Its
abilities.
trunk
Here.
wide enough that
I
the
have
metal
this
cannot move on
persuasion
by.
ability that's
The bark
abysmal,
is
but I
round and
haven't
deep set,
met anybody
raised
who
and
I would
firm.
ever need to
The runes
persuade
carved
about
into the wood are leathery,
anything.
almost worn away
And
by
I've been playing
seasons
for
and
40
storms.
minutes.
But
So
the
I do
torchlight catches
wonder,
the flames. They are not the simple
yeah, I
marks of
think
bounty
that
markers
the
or trail
core
signs.
pacing of
These
the
are
story is the
complex,
part that needs
twisting
work.
shapes.
It seems like the
Algius for
mechanics are
protection,
there. They are
Ether for
just
ice,
not
and others you do
used
not recognize,
regularly enough in
layering
the
over each
current
other in
story's
chaotic
pacing
script that seems
to
to shift
keep
when you
it
look
active
away.
and interesting. And I would really think about,
Or
every
madness.
moment we pause, there should be some way to get some cool advantage. And it seems like often it's just kind of moving me along.
Above you, the rope ladder
Let us
swings
trace
gently in the
gently.
wind.
Toro.
So there's Hermit. Oh. All right, I'm gonna ask for shelter. Anyways, but yeah, that's the this is a pretty cool project. I think there's a lot going on here that we should keep an eye out on. Go back to library.
Your vo-
Your adventure is saved. Great. So this is OMEA, and this is their Odin's Trail story. I'm very curious, if players can submit stories, like as a writer. That's always very interesting if you have this as an engine. But also, I do think that like the engine itself could use some evolution. Both making sure the story is using the RPG elements that you have, but then also I think if you play lots of choose your adventures, you know that the choices are actually really important to the storytelling of even giving the context of what has happened before. And in that respect, I would really think about how you build diversity around the ways you can interact with choices. I think pre-showing, kind of like what I was talking about, pre-showing the suggestions with the ability to add more, write your own, or accept as is probably a direction I would encourage looking into, because of that primary reason, right? Where the choices are really important, especially when the story is kind of overriding a little bit, as AI tends to do. Everyone skips to the end. And I would really think about how do you make OMEA as a story engine support the human propensity to skip to the end, because that is the biggest thing as a creator. you combat with. Is you either make the prose so gripping you can't skip to the end, which is just very, very difficult. Even as a writer, like, that's my job. I still have to assume that I'm not going to pull that off for some readers. And then I have to think about ways to say, okay, if they are kind of zooming ahead, how do I keep getting story hooks ready so that eventually they'll be really, really hooked and they will have to keep reading. And you know, in my game World Seekers, where I did a lot of choose your adventure stuff, it was saying, oh hey, part of the way you get context is from the choices in the choose your adventure. But even as a developer, like, if this engine was available for me to like plug into World Seekers and use all those, you know, have it in my Unity game, that would be incredible as well. So let me know if that's possible. I would love it. But anyways, thank you so much for sharing this with me. This is OMEA. The developers were very kind and sent over this and did a little sponsored stream. So I was very excited. Don't tell them I probably would have reviewed this for free, because I'm always very fascinated by how this genre is evolving. But I'm, yeah, very excited to see how this continues to evolve and grow. Thank you so much for sending this over. Have a great evening, everyone, and ta-ta for now.